titled From 203 to do you hear me? Okay. Okay, good. I see myself, but I don't know if you hear me. Please confirm that the audio is good. And then we can get started. All right. Sorry that we're starting the comments live. I want to see enough lives in the. I'm going to pull up a skeletal framework that we're going to go over together. We're looking at from 203 to 110. Aha. Okay. This is not the updated slides, but basically it's just a framework that we're going to go over. We're just going to be having a heart-to-heart talk today. And basically that's it. Okay. Let me remove all this. Okay. Okay, if you're joining live, drop live in the comments. If you are here, so basically, why are we here? Like, why are we having this conversation? Let me know. From more importantly, where are you also joining us from? I know we have a lot of international people from all over the world, and that's the beauty of the conversation tonight. So basically, it doesn't really story, situation, and actually pulling lessons from. What we're going to look at is a woman's story, her start points, and the progress she made. Okay, because I mean, talk is cheap, and what matters is not really what I say. It's about seeing someone possibly similar situation to you that has also done it. Okay, and that is really the whole essence. I'm trying to nothing fancy. What I put on the slides is just certain screenshots of her progress. Okay, so I want you to see them, literally feel them. Everyone has different comfort levels, and she wasn't comfortable on video, so we just have let me know in the comments where you're joining from as well. I really want to know where you're joining from. Let me know where you're joining from. Yeah, so while we try to pull up the slides, let me know where you're joining for being here. Let me know your goal, right? What's your number one goal? I know that for many of us, our goal is, freedom, but what does freedom really mean to you? I'm still trying to pull up this slides. You cannot believe it. We had it all set up, but apparently it once. So hopefully this one updates and then we can share. Anyway, no matter where you're joining, so I'm joining Central Time, GST, right? Japan Central Time. And so depending on what part of Africa you're joining from, we're probably like 8 hours. There's probably about 8 hours between us. If you're joining from Ghana, maybe 9 hours still, right? And it's okay. Now this woman. Okay, guys, yes, so here we are. All right, so this woman, like you, right? This was 2021, September 2021. And a fight hypertension challenge, right? Oh, Ghana, good. My Ghana brothers are here. All right, welcome. We met in 2021 after a fight hypertension challenge like this. We had a challenge. It was challenge is usually 3 days or 7 days, right? And we held it. Now, this woman, she actually signed up to learn, oh, I just want to learn about high blood pressure because I have family that have high. Okay. Now, during the time she signed up to learn, right? During the challenge, one of the things we kept saying was check your blood pressure. And so, check your blood pressure, check your blood pressure. So, during the challenge, remember I told you it was like 7 days. It's 7 days, but it's usually 3 core trainings. And so, in the hey guys, yeah, because I mean, if there was a time it was supposed to be stable, it will be now. So I don't know. But what we're going to do is We'll try again, and then if it doesn't go through, more smoothly. So you guys pray sometimes when you're about to get something really big, it happens. So sometimes it just goes this way. But what I usually, I just keep the faith like this message must go live, and this is time to pray. Like, you know what, I'm getting this information. So now for context, normal blood pressure is anywhere between 110 over 70 to 130 over 80. So the moment you get 140 over 90, it's considered, high blood pressure. It's considered higher than normal. Okay. And anything above 140 over 90 is high blood pressure, right? Now imagine not 140, not 150, not 160, not 170, not 180. So for every time I try to pull up the slides, like it takes about 3 steps to pull up the slides, right? So for every time con- I try to pull up the slides, it just goes off. So I don't know why. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to try to keep speaking. I'll probably just go ahead without the slides, although I would have shots you can see before and after, like screenshots of her readings. So we have readings that I cannot show you. Well, I could show you from here, but you might not really see it well enough. Anyway, but I will, let's go ahead regardless, because once I try to pull up the slides, it just goes off, right? It cuts off. I don't know why. Anyway, I was telling you about her. So that was how she jettisoned her quest for other people and is like, you know what, I have to think about myself first. And that was how we got started. Now, what is the lesson to learn here? Number one, high blood pressure, the moment you learn about, like you see that your numbers are really high, that is the don't wait. Now, this happened 2021. I told you 2021 September. I have screenshots here that actually lock down the date that she sent us her first readings, 203 over 100. Now let us talk about first what and what does not work. Then have to continue. Now you take notes. I'm going to share with you on this broadcast, right? I'm going to share with you the mistakes. So what we're going to go over is the mistakes that most people make, that if they had those kind of readings, it will lead to maybe kidney failure, heart, some of these complications, so that you don't make it. Now we're going to learn what she started doing. We're going to learn the strategy that works. So we're going to see what doesn't work, the strategy that works. And then we even went ahead to break it down to 12 steps. Now, for those of you that registered for this training, that joined the whole WhatsApp holding group, we're even going to make sure you get the 12-week PDF. You're going to be able to download it. You would have it. Also, I highly recommend that you're taking notes. Make sure you're taking notes. Now, at the end of this conversation, so we're going to look at mistakes. We're going to look at the method that she used that worked, and then we're going to look at the 12-week framework. We're going to give you access to that. Invite you. Now, we're not looking for everybody. What I'm sharing is not for everybody. Not everybody will ever be able to do it. However, I'm looking for specific people. So if everything I share, if it resonates with you, if a story resonates with you, and you see, oh, this to you to actually join, of course, you can be the next success story. You can be the person that will be highlighting maybe in 2030, right? Great. Okay, so let's talk about 203 over 100. The moment we got to work, I shared with her the same thing that like I told you, she started out Fight Hypertension Challenge this same similar way, and we talked about, usually we always say, okay, what has not worked for some of us. I mean, when some of us were joining for this program, we're saying, you were asking, what is the remedy, what is the supplement, what is the herbal remedy, I think that's the word, what's the herbal remedy that we're going to use, what are you promoting, right? Now, of course, if you've already tried herbal remedies and you're still here, you already know. Now, this is not to say a framework, okay? Now, if you want to use your medicines only, that's great. However, I'm a pharmacist, and medical science always says be on your medicines every single day. Why? Because the movie goes back up, yes or no. Now, thank you guys. Drop in the comments. I want this to be as I want you to be responding. I'll be asking questions. Please make sure you're dropping in the comments, because I really want to know that what we're sharing makes the most sense to you. All right. Now, first things first, what doesn't work? High BP, remedies only, remedies only, supplements, no matter how expensive, you know, don't waste your money on. So in fact, there in the framework, I'm going to tell you when to start using supplements. If you use supplements, just, oh, my BP is high, I use supplements, you've wasted your money, because your body cannot even receive it at that time. Okay, now if you have already tried all these concoctions, I mean, where this is streaming on YouTube, you see, oh, try this, put lemon in the water first thing in the morning, put lemon, put beetroot, put celery, these are great, but can they give you this kind of readings that 4 years later? Is there any remedy on earth that you've heard of that gives results up to 4 years? Let me know in the comments. Have you seen any remedy that gives you results up to 4 years later? Have you seen any tablet on earth that does that? Let me know in the comments if you've ever seen. So let's talk about, so what we've been able to achieve so far to establish high fat sujata. What we've been able to achieve, so establish, so the woman, she was able to know that those things don't work, because she even came because of her family members. If all those other things were working, she knew she had a time, she also failed. So let us go straight to what worked instead. Now, rule of thumb, you have to use 100% different strategy. Drop that in the comments if you're following so far. Thank you. So far, we have 15 people joining live. We have over how many people now? 72 people at the real deal. And I've already any more because once I try to pull it up, it alters the setting and then everything disappears. Okay, so now we've talked about what didn't work and why they don't work. They don't work not because they're not good, but be multiple organs in your system. And also because you keep growing older, wear and tear. So things are going to get, you're growing older, you're exposed to pollution, you're exposed to a lot of hard stress. So just by growing older, everything is going to worsen. How do you know your BP is worsening? If you were taking 5 milligrams last year, but this year the 5 milligrams was not working, and your doctor said, let's add a different medicine or let's increase the dose, it means the BP is worsening. Okay. Also, ignoring it doesn't work because if I take my mind off it, I don't want to think about it. It doesn't mean it's getting better. In fact, how you up, seeing 200. Meanwhile, 200 over 100 is 200 over 100 is actually considered a hypertensive emergency. Do you have anything? Yeah, I don't just feel it's not that serious. It's just that sometimes I get like 190 or I get like 160. Or you may be here saying, oh, it's just hers was 200, mine is just 160. Even 160 over 100, there have been people who have stroke with 160 over 100. So we don't play with it. Now, what did we do immediately? Let me now. So we've said what doesn't work is guesswork or using different things. Now let's talk about the turning point. The turning point for her was understanding that this is big and she had to fix it. So what did she do? What she used instead is called the high BP reversal method. Now drop that in the comments. High BP reversal method. Drop that in the comments. Okay. Someone says tablets. No tablets. Is that what he said? Okay. No tablets. That's fine. That's fine. And following, thank you very much for that. At least now I know you guys are following. Now, the high BP reversal method, I'll tell you what it is. Now, it's our own personal creation. If you're wondering who I am, my name is Pharmacist Ilichuku. Okay, so thank you, Ifi Oscar. Thank you, Fatuja. High BP reversal method. Now, if you're wondering who I am, I'm the founder of Hypertension Africa, and I did not just wake up and just say, okay, let's create high BP reversal method and let's use it. Time. We're gonna be in here for another 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So just focus, okay? Try to focus, okay? Now, how did I come about this method? Several years ago, over 8 years ago, it's probably 9 now, okay? My father also had hypertension, but he did not even start with hypertension. It started as arthritis just from getting old. At the time, I was an undergraduate student. I was still in the university. So that actually means it's over 10 years ago because that graduation, yes, so it's over 15 years ago. My dad had this case, right? It was arthritis from his knee, and then it moved to his lower back, and the high BP, he had the diagnosis. It affected his lower back, and then it moved to hypertension and then high cholesterol. Now imagine how having 4 chronic diseases and not having help, not knowing what to do. Comes, just stay with me. I'm going to tell you how this. Now, the reason you need to understand this is because if you are going to copy the same method, you need to understand how it has worked for me. Now, when he had these four things, conditions, as a pharmacy student, of course, I'm like, Daddy, take the medicine. Guess what? He never really got better. In fact, he now needed to always take the medicines because without the medicines, he was in chronic pain. He was an Anglican priest, or he is an Anglican priest. Processions with synods, with bishops, he would write to the bishop to say, please, I cannot be part of the procession, right? I'll just come in when you guys are done, because the pain was too much. He couldn't walk such long distances. Why am I sharing this? This was how bad it was, until at some point his doctor said you would have to get a surgery. But here's the deal, 50% chance that it would actually help. Now, this for us was the end of the road. Like, how can we keep following the doctors and yet nothing is working, right? If not, they're just giving us possible, it could not work. That was when we decided to go into looking for other things. Now, I'm a pharmacist, right? Because of his condition, I had to go to study pharmacognosy as an MSc project, pain, anti-inflammatory plants in Southwest Nigeria. I have some published work already on that. You can Google the name. Okay. Chibwama Milechukwu is my name, by the way. Now, that was what led me to finding out that naturally you can use plants and you can also use lifestyle to help to heal your body. Now, everybody that typed high BP reversal method, that is actually the roots of how we developed the high BP reversal method. Now, of course, I didn't create my father's case for this. It was necessity. And of course, it took my father over 2 years to be able to get better, right? So over 2 years, and of course, a lot of trial and error we spent on everything. And the reason I'm telling you this is simple, because you might have multiple cases as well. Now, in Madam this woman's case, she also by the cholesterol. Her readings here showed 210. Now, normally total lipid profile above 200 is considered high cholesterol. So she had 210. Then for the BP, okay, because I have the slides, I had everything on the screenshot, on slides, I put the screenshots there. What we can do is maybe, I don't know, maybe you put the screenshots also on the page so you can see, right? So that you can eventually see when we're done with this broadcast. Now, that eventually giving result is what we told this woman. This is the only way out. Now, why it is so powerful is because what we're trying to do is to repair. Everybody drop the word repair. To repair your body. So why not? Reversal means to get back to how your body was before the hypertension started. Now, in order to repair your body, you have to work on 3 things. The high BP reversal method starts from the mind. There are 3 stages in the high BP reversal method. Mind liberation. Drop that. The number 1, mind liberation. Drop that in the comments. Number 2 is the freedom activation. Anything else apart from this it does not have the capacity to give you the kind of results that you seek. Why? Quick fixes don't work. Quick fixes is like put a band-aid on it, right? Yeah, that's all. But high blood pressure is not a cut. It is systemic. High blood pressure is the whole cardiovascular system. So the heart is involved, the kidneys are involved, the blood vessels are involved. Okay, so and because it's pumping all over, that is why if the BP is so high for so long, it can give a stroke if it affects the brain, if it affects the eye visual. That's why you see people say, oh, I have blurred vision, or I'm always dizzy. It's because it's affecting the head. Oh, I always have headaches. It's affecting the head. Oh, urinate, kidney, it shows up in form of elevated kidney damage. Okay, so you have elevated EU's creatinine levels. So it shows up this way, right? And so that is why we cannot use a band aid. We have to go deep. And so the high BP reversal method means you have to go. Yeah, so I just mentioned to you the 3 steps. Thank you guys. People are writing it. Mind liberation. For instance, what we're doing, what I'm taking the time to probably have heard, maybe you only listened and then it didn't work, right? We only hear, oh, that man, he kept taking it, but he had a heart enlargement and eventually had a stroke. Those are the only things we hear. But what if you start hearing about people who succeeded? This training is about showcasing people who succeeded in crushing high vibration. Thank you, Fatu Jata. Thank you, Ify Oscar. Thank you, Frederick. Thank you, everyone. Yes, freedom activation. Yes, those are the 3 steps. Now, but in order to do this, you're going to agree with me that if you had to make all the changes, where do I start? Now, mind liberation. So what we now did was, okay, so thank you, Mr. Frederick, freedom activation. What we to take it step by step. So instead of trying to make all the changes to repair the body at the same time, we decided, okay, let's give it time. Now, time is your best friend in the journey. But then time is a double-edged sword. If not actively repair your medicines, it gets worse. So instantly, why? Because you want to repair your body using your lifestyle. So not just food. Because everyone thinks, oh, tell me what to eat. So the first thing we did in mind liberation, there are still, we can break it down into, so mind steps, body liberation, we can break it down into 3 steps, and then freedom activation, we can break it down into 3 steps. But because we've told you we're going to do a 12-week framework, I'll give the 12-week framework, like, okay, I'm sorry I can't share slides because of obvious reasons. It just keeps interfering with the network, but it's okay. Okay. Let me see if I can maybe just pull it up on my phone and just kind of show you what it looks like. But that regards of work. Now, the first week, you should be taking notes right now. Make sure you're taking notes. You're gonna need notes. Okay. Even though we're gonna give you the PDF, but I mean your personal notes, your personal conversion. Okay. So this was what I was supposed to. This is what I was supposed to be pulling up as my slide, right? Anyway, so for the first week, remember we said Libra. First, the thing you do to all your start points, all the you have to get all your start points. You have to put it all down. Okay, so we're good. Getting into the meat of the conversation. Let me see. Can you see it? It's so tiny. I'll read it out. I'll read it out. So number one, what she did. This is not in how it happened. Okay, so week 1, acknowledge every high BP challenge and symptom. cholesterol was high as 99. So when we did the maths, we found out she was obese because even with her height and her weight, she was obese. And now obesity, you actually relate it with body mass index. It's not, oh, I feel like I move. No. When we calculated, we found it was obese. Now, a higher risk of a stroke or a heart disease or a heart attack. So if a person is obese and has hypertension, so in her case, we found out, okay, these are the stuff, high cholesterol. And then she also recorded sleep problems. Okay. She recorded sleep problems. I want to pull it up as well on this so that I'm giving you the exact readings. So she acknowledged everything. And then she, okay, sleep problems, so everything acknowledged. So this was the start point. Now, after doing that, we have to identify the triggers. So what are her triggers? So maybe she worked a high stress job. She also had some form of, emotional things that were really bothering her. And these things also worsen the blood pressure. Maybe you can relate. Okay. So, and then we actually have a triggers checklist. I cannot share everything. Now, let me do full disclosure. In this training, at the end of this training, you're going to have full clarity. You will be able to understand where you see on how it works. And then you'll be able to get clear, okay, either I can do this and I want to do this using the same method, or no, I will not do this. I want to continue with my medicines. That's what this training, or whatever your situation on this training, full disclosure. After this training, we can now go ahead for those who want to continue to work with us. You will have a chance to do that. Those do feel like, okay, I'll figure it out on my own. Thank you for the saying this. So you don't say, give me the trigger checklist. You mentioned this, we mentioned this, it's not possible. Anyway, we did the trigger list with her. We determined her triggers, and we got a number of triggers that we found. These are all the star parameters, and this is what we're going to work towards by one, and we're going to work towards also getting you back. And then that same moment, so you can do the first two within the first 2 days. Or we did the first two within the first days, and then we started our mind detox. Mind detox also has to do with confessing positive, becoming free. And if people have done it, so so will I. And we taught her different practices. There are up to 6 different practices when it comes to mind detox. Now, I almost got one very, very important thing. You see, the moment we saw 200 and 100, the first thing we did, and I tell to everybody, people come to, I have the babies, this, should I stop the medicines because I want? I know you don't stop your medicines, you do not. Now start the reversal at the same time. If you followed me long enough, TikTok or YouTube, you would have heard me say something like, if you have not followed, now you. So the moment we saw this reading, sent her with the name, you have to go and see a doctor immediately. She went to Lute because she was based in Lagos. And she got on 2 medications for blood pressure. She also got on one. She got 2 medications for the blood pressure. I have to come a lot more stable. Okay, right? So she immediately got on 2 medications for the blood pressure. And then we go, because you have to first of all bring it down to no, we have to remove that immediate risk. So it's not about saying, because I don't want to get the medicine, let me start high BP reversal. If your BP is too high, you must. Then you start to pre. And so that is like first step that she wouldn't faint or burst the brain. Now the week 2, she started full body detox. Full body detox means she had to cleanse her body. The moment you start, now for every one of us, for if you've had high BP for however long, you have to cleanse your body. So full body detox means detoxifying the whole system. I know some of us buy vessel cleansers and stuff. So for our green smoothies, there's detox. There's also even we don't do a lot of fasting, but it's also fun. But fasting alone is on vegetables to 1 week. Now she did all that. The reason is to stop inflammation. Everyone who's high blood pressure for the time, when there's any high blood pressure, so you must cleanse your body immediately. So she did that for 1 week. By week 3, she started the high BP reversal meal plan. Now, what are the rules of thumb for the high BP reversal meal plan? Number 1, for instance, a person who is hypertensive and trying to reverse must stop fried foods, for instance. Okay, and so that is subtract. Addition. You must add things that will lower your blood pressure to heal your body. Remember, it's on your start point. So, for instance, in her own case, when we acknowledge that she was obese, her meal planning must target the weight, must target the cholesterol, and target the BP at the determine which ones. But this is how. This is the framework she used. In her own case, maybe we're targeting the same. But a rule of thumb of everything worsening, sealing cubes, processed foods, a lot of sugar. Now by week 4, so you must subtract. It's called the SAM strategy. Actually, we have an acronym at the same time. So for her meals. Now the beautiful thing is, no matter where you're based, every meal, African meals, yes, it didn't have to be anything exotic. Even African meals, even if you eat swallow, you have to combine the swallow with vegetable food, soup, for instance, or anything, it would still work, right? So that was what she did. By her week 4, she started an exercise routine. Now she didn't even need to register in a gym, but the week moving, and we targeted 10 minutes, just 10 minutes a day. Remember, she's obese, right? She wants to shed her weight, but the goal is not to overwhelm her with that, but to get her moving first. By week 5, what we looked at was habit stacking. So habit stacking means you already have a routine. Okay, so let's say you leave your house very early and you come back late at night. So maybe you're not going to be able to do any walking or exercise in the day. So you can do it at night. So we stack it. Okay, I can do my exercise after dinner, for instance, right? That is what habit stacking is. It means whatever your routine is that you always do, you add that thing that you're trying to get used to, you add it to it. So it's called stacking. If you always brush your teeth in the morning, right, but you're trying to make sure you do meditations in the morning before you go out, so you can say, for every time I pick up my toothbrush, it reminds you to do your meditation before you brush your teeth. Habit stacking. So she started doing that. So whatever she's trying to, maybe, I don't remember to drink water before food. Okay, every time you bring your food, you drink water before you eat, just to make sure you meet up with your 3 liters. Do you understand? That is what we worked. Now, before I proceed, if you are with me so far, drop following this is the weeks, this is this talks about strategic supplementation. Now listen to the word strategic. Okay, you guys, the numbers, you can be dropping it in the chats as well. Number 6 is strategic supplementation. Thank you, Monday Eagle. Strategic supplementation, I mentioned before that if you take supplements before this time, you have wasted your take supplements. If you take supplements, just buy supplements and take, it's not part of your body healing process. But if you wait up until this time, you've done everything I stated here, you're working on your triggers, full body detox, start your reversal meal plan, start working with your meal plan. Week 6, what you find out, even the supplement that you need at that point would be different. Your supplement needs. That is why we said strategic supplementation. Strategy. So you are only now supplementing for the symptoms or for the things that are still left at that point. Also, you are supplementing because that you're not able to get from your food. So maybe you're not able to eat a lot of vegetables. You have to now add vegetable supplement. Or do you understand? So that week 6, maybe you're still having sleep problems. In fact, many of the sleep problems having palpitations, it probably has resolved by week 6. So you don't have to supplement for palpitations anymore. So that's why we call it strategy based on the same that still left at that point. But set to at 1 green a day. Why? This is why you may see things like to help with BP control. So you now actively add them to your meals every single day. Thank you, Mokaka, following Engineer Madaki, following Frederick. Thank you. So these were the things that she did. And then by week 8, to speed up your weight shed, if you have a weight shed, remember we said, oh, just do 10 minutes to start. That was week 4. Week 5, 6, by week 5, you started habit stacking. You might not get 10 minutes of exercise. You don't start with 1 hour. But as you progress and you're feeling lighter, you might probably be more energetic. And then you can start to do exercise. So that is what we actually do. Week 8 to speed up the weight loss. Now, maybe at that point, you're now getting, maybe you've shed like 4-5 kg. You are now lighter and you can do more, And then speeding up, we can start to try different exercise routines. Okay. Now, this is when dogs, or she did. Remember what? No, it's not. You're actually talking. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I'll just run down to week 12, then I'll tell you some key things that really made all the difference. So we did a repeat body details in week 9. So you see that full body details she did Wednesday week 2, we did it again by week 9. Remember, week 9 actually means after 2 months. So then we looked at her consistency and looked at other areas that were still resistant. What was the thing that we're still stuck? Like, okay, what are we going to move around? So it's called like a consistency check stroke course correction. Okay. And then 11, we looked at all, we did all the repeat tests again to see, okay, what's the weight now? now, what's the function test we did all over it. Now pull up, giving you the 12-week framework, right? I've given you the 12-week framework, and you're going to be like, wow, this sounds easy. But let me know your thoughts. Do you feel like, oh, this sounds easy, or do you feel like, this is a lot, or do you feel like, let me just know your thoughts? But before then, now while you're doing all this, there are some key things which we can transformation possible. These pillars of implementation. No matter what you think about what she did, remember I told you that we started at 203. I want to pull up the actual screenshots, right? Now, by how week 4, her showed because usually, week 4, already 133 over 7 from, can you see it? Can you see HBR 4-week entries? This is not us telling you what the you can see responses. Other people respond at 4 weeks. You give us see her reading by week 4, 94.6 kg. Remember, she started at 99. Okay, and then blood sugar, she started at 5.7, now 5.6. So after 4 weeks, that brings me to the pillars of implementation. Number 1, write Dr. Prak in the comment. DR is in getting results using the same thing if you like. Dr. Prak, let me it in the chat and highlight it. Prak. DR, I would end with bit and I'll talk about DRPC. That is just an acronym for the thing that actually now made everything like unstoppable. Look at it. DRPRAC, Dr. Prak. Number 1, D stands for discipline. She was disciplined. This could not have worked if she didn't have discipline, right? Discipline just means, okay, I need to shed some weight, so I need to eat a little bit more than I used to eat, but I need to do this so that my heart, so that I will not be, I won't have a stroke. This was it, right? She was disciplined. Number 2, R. The R here stands for basically what this means is that we're combining the high BP reversal method, right, of implementation, and you are unstoppable. There is no way on earth that this was how she got the result. She combined both. Okay, so weekly. Do you know that R stands for roadmap? Roadmap means weekly. Don't try to make all the changes at once. If you leave this place now, you go and buy supplements, do this, do that, do this, you will get overwhelmed. When you're trying, you're in the gym, you will. So roadmap means whatever changes, you have to bring them step by step. Focus on one change per week. Also, the P stands for personalization. Drop that in the comments. Guys, please be dropping these things. The P in the Dr. Prak, P stands for personalization. Personalization means that some of us here have pressure and diabetes. So whatever, even though you're following this framework, it must be personalized to what you have. Remember, week one, we determined all the start points, all the complaints, all the complications, all the numbers. We even say, do a test. If your cholesterol is high, do a test. If it's not high, okay, we're not working on cholesterol. Oh, echo showed enlarged heart, no problem. Means your preference. I like jogging, so focus on jogging. I like playing squash. All right, do squash. Do you understand? So personalization also means it must tally with your lifestyle. Then R is very, very important. It means reviews. The second R stands for reviews. So reviews means you must be reviewing your progress as you don't review. You must, it's called tracking. You must track. Now, when a person does not track, when you don't track, what happens is this. You won't know. For instance, I'm showing you this woman's reading today because we were tracking. I showed you 4 weeks, right? Now look at her 8 weeks. Look at her 8-week review. 8-week review. Look at her readings. 200 over 100. Look at her reading, what 94 over 78, and then her weight had come down to 93.8. Can you see that? Now, see the top. She's not the only one. Can you see other responses? 26 responses, right? The first one was about 50. Blood pressure and other transformations. Weight is dropping, I sleep well, and energy level is high. These are reviews. This is not, it's not about the online review. No, reviewing your progress week 0 versus week 8. So for review, when you track it, first of all, there are 3 levels of review. You write your BP reading, you write the date, you write the time, and then you take 3 readings. We actually give BP track sheets for those of you who are still going to continue with us. We'll give you track sheets. You just print it out and use it for taking your readings. Then you write your comments. So she was tracking at that level, so she has her own track sheets. But every week you must also have readings so that you can be comparing your progress. And when you review, you course correct. Oh, the BP is not dropping. Maybe to increase from 10 minutes to 15 minutes. Do you understand? Review following. The next thing is accountability. This accountability is huge. The reason some of us don't succeed is because we just, many of us make this New Year resolution. I'm going to do this, but it's only in our head. We don't tell anybody because we're afraid we're not going to do it. Accountability question is, did you do what you said you were going to do? When you said you were going to reverse your high BP, did you start doing the things you were going to do? Want to do it, but just do it and not do it. So she reached out to us for accountability, to hold her accountable. And you can see we're asking her, what is your reading today? She was answering. If she did not answer, there's no way we will be able to hold her accountable, right? So accountability. You can tell your family member, I will hold you accountable. Mommy, I thought you said you no longer eat fried food. Why are you eating that? Accountability. You must tell someone outside of yourself. Also, support groups help a lot. Imagine we're having this conversation now. The reason you guys are still here by this time watching this video is because, we're all in a group, support group. Like, you guys were having this thing and we're dropping it, and everyone is showing up. Accountability. Okay, she also joined our HBR accountability, and so we're able to hold her accountable. I'll show you a message she sent to me one time, like, oh, ma, I won't be able to come for look at it. Please, I'll be unavoidably absent today. Thanks. Can you see it? Can you see the date on that chart? January 9, 2022. Can you see it? So to tell you that these are not made up things, these are real things. That was how many years ago? 4 years ago. But this is her saying, wow, I won't be able to meet up. That is accountable. That way, that goal you set, you actually get to meet it. And then the last C. So you always need someone that holds you accountable. How far? You said you're going to do this. Have you done this? And then the last C stands for count down. This is like the most countdown without accountability. How long is it going to take you to reverse high BP? You probably say, I don't know, but by God's grace, by God's grace. But let me tell you, I told you my dad, it took him over 2 years, right? To be able to get off all the pain medicines, all the high cholesterol and everything medicines. In this woman's case, it took her roughly four, roughly 12 weeks to be able to get off her medicines. Okay. Now, countdown means counting down to freedom. So my question to you is, when do you think you're going to become free? She did her countdown. So the first time we met her was September, countdown to freedom. Now, from experience, you must count down 90 days. 90 days means 3 months. 3 months means 12 weeks. Simple and short. That's the math. So, countdown to freedom. Drop countdown to freedom. Roadmap, personalization, reviews, accountability, and then countdown to freedom. I always do this. First time I did this, yeah, it was at 2021. There was this other woman, the lady Nakia. She was in the US. I said, when are you going to become IBP free? She put down a date, December 25, 2022. And then I asked, when are you going? What is the reading you're going to get? She wrote down 115/75. Do you know that before December 2025, she actually started getting those readings? And of course, when you're in the US, it's not like, oh, I can just it. Now we is not. We have so many people. If you go through on this same YouTube, if you go through our videos, you would see we have interviews. We call them success calls. We have at least 6 people who we've interviewed, and these are the ones who agreed to share their story and put this. If you saw our ad on Dr. Madam Morayo, the same thing. She's just one woman who agreed to put her face. There are so many others. Now, the reason, countdown to freedom, 90 days from now. We are strategically doing that to be free. So the question is, will you be one of them? So my question, what date are you going to become free from high BP? Write down the date. Let me give you a hint. 90 days from now will be February, March. You can say April 25. You can say April 29. But target 12 weeks from now. Exactly 12 weeks from now. Now, the real question will be, do you think that if you follow this same framework that you too will become free? If yes, that's fine. But if you say, oh, no, this is too much, that's also fine. So this is the point of decision. Like I promised you, this is a clarity at the end of this. Going to know going forward, what is going to be your path to freedom. To talk about you and, oh, I love whatever she did. This sounds like, wow, nobody has ever shared this with us. Wow, I never knew. Wow, this looks great. Let me know in the comments, first of all, what do you think about the path to freedom? 12-week roadmap to freedom. Do you think like, wow, this is next level stuff? This is, and trust me, we know it's next level stuff. We've worked with people who their doctors have given up on them, people that start with 6 medicines, they get off 4 in 3 weeks, in 3 months. We work with people. So this is like next level stuff. Anyway, if you want to use this same pattern that she has used, let's talk about you. Now, our target is simple. Our target is to work with you if you agree that you want to use the same path. Now, how do we do that? And then, yeah, I told you that this doesn't end, right? Now, look at what happened after. I just want to show you this. This woman, this was a conversation we had in 2023. 2023, she said, once again, thanks a million. She's still thanking us. After a year, she's thanking us. And then look at the highlighted part. She said, thank you for joining your group. Then brought, what's happening? Oh, then brought the awareness, or else it would have been something else. That's why I can't thank you enough. This is her saying this. This was in 2024. Look at, by January of 20, that's last year, 2024. That is how many years later? 2 years later. Look at her reading. My BP has been great, 123/72, within that range. I'm happy I met you. And then I said, wow, OMG, for how many years now? She said, since about 2022. You cannot forget this. Once you are free, you cannot forget the date. Look at it. Can you see the date? This is a conversation that happened before January 2. So 4 years down the line, she's still having good readings. Now, this is a conversation that happened just last Thursday, which is what? I just messaged her, Happy New Year, ma'am. I didn't even ask anything. Trust you're doing great. How is everything? Good morning. Okay. And then she says, I'm doing great to the glory of God. My vitals have been great also. God bless you for the wonderful and great works you are doing. Have a great day. Do you see it? This is to show you 4 years later, she's still maintaining the readings, all because she did a countdown to freedom. And so we're also opening up opportunities if you would like to do the countdown to freedom and you want us to. Do you think you're going to definitely crush high BP by April 2026? Simply using this same framework, with us doing the reviews with you, doing everything, personalizing for you, making sure that whatever your start points are, whatever your complaints are right now, that by then everything, we clear everything one by one. This is exactly the same thing, this same framework. If yes, then let's talk. Now we have two so question, you guys are no longer dropping the comments. Do you think you're definitely going to succeed with crushing? Now tell me your freedom date and your BP, the BP reading, that when you get, you say, yes, I hit it. You have to write it here because, yes, thank you, everybody writing countdown to freedom. The reason you are writing it here is you're going to anchor that. That is what we're working towards. Now we have a goal. It's no longer a wish. It's a goal that we are working towards. Okay, we're going to end this in the next 3 minutes. 3 minutes. What we're going to do, if you say yes, what we're going to do is immediately after this call, you would send a message and then we'll get started. Now, how do we get started? It's the same high BP reversal program. We've, of course, improved it over the years to even get better and faster results. But it's the same framework, and we're going to work with you every step of the way. Now, few cases will, same framework. We get started, you let us know your start points, and we pass you through the same thing. We provide you with the accountability. Who could not, you invited their friends and family, like, hey, come and watch, you have to see this, right? And that is great. So we get to work. We're going to work through February. The fix of what you're going to be, just be a short training video, week 1, so you know what you're going to do for the week. Okay, you know what you're going to do for the week. You start to do it, and then every Saturday, just like this, 9 p.m. we have our champions hangout. We're going to sit, it's always it's an exclusive group for everyone on the journey. We have conversations. You let us know, the struggle you had during the week, the challenge you had. And then, first of all, you tell us your win. What did you win at that week? We talk about those. Then we talk about your struggles, of course. And then we talk about the next thing you're going to do for the next week. So this is how we actually progress. So I will be there with you. In fact, every week having these conversations, we call it hangout. So it's a hangout. That's how we help you to get results. Like I said, this is not a poach. This is not, no hard sell. This is like, yes, this is it. And I want to work with you. And I'm ready to do what I have to do to become free. Then let's talk. Okay. Now, how much does it cost for you to be a part of this program? Now, really simple. Let me see. Wow, you guys are dropping comments. April 30th, very good. You see people like this that drop their dates. They're dropping. Watch out for them. This is actually how it is. Like some people are just sorry, it doesn't watching, right? Just watching like But you see those people that are dropping their comments, dropping their everything. This is one marker. Of course, those that don't drop comments but also take action fast also win. So I know there are two kinds of clients that win. I'm waiting and looking forward for a regular 115/70. Love it. So you've locked down your dream number. That is what you work towards. Write it down. You see this thing you wrote it, write it down on that paper, on that note you've been taking. That's your anchor. 112/75. I love it. I love how you guys are going for these kinds of numbers. Most people just say 120/80, but 112 over this. Perfect. Okay. So how I know you're probably asking, so how much is it going to cost? How much is it going to cost? The real question is, how much do you think, like what is it going to be worth for you if you eventually hit this goal by April 30? And then you hit it and you're able to maintain it. Like, what is it? For me, it's priceless. And for many people, it's priceless. You can see her 1 year later, she's still saying thank you. 2 years later, thank you so much. It was for money because, yes, it's an investment, but they keep thinking, right? Because it's a problem that is solved and nobody can take that how it is, right? I promise I'm going to end this in the next 3 minutes, right? Ah, look at this. But that's what she wants to anchor on, and it's okay. Okay, April 20th, if you Oscar, perfect. So you anchor that date, April 20th. Write it down on your notebook. People pay us, our clients. We just worked with her. She was in the hospital. She went there for something else. And she was in pain, but they checked her BP and they got 100 was right. But they checked my BP, still 100 over things. Thank you very much. You remember, I'm like, you are in the hospital, you are there for something else, but you are still like, wow, even the BP did not rise. Like that is like next, you just notice next level stuff. And that was just it. All right, talk about that. April is my birth month, and I'm looking for a permanent stable BP before the end of April. Perfect. So you have to I am working towards, not looking for it. If you believe that this, if you have clarity that this, then you say, yeah, I'm working towards this stable BP before the April and before the end of April. But yeah, you're already on the right track. Okay. So how much does it charge? How much does it mean Naira in Nigeria? One-time investment. Now for our non-Nigerians, we'll also still send you a link that converts the currency, like that gives you the equivalent of your currency. Okay. Now what people outside, usually when we work with people outside of the African space, our charge is $1,000. However, if we work with you or you're in the African space, we charge the equivalent of 20,000 Naira only. That is the investment point for the high BP reversal program. So if you want to join the HBR in the comments, please drop HBR and send you the link now WhatsApp, so you can send the message directly. But drop HBR in the comments before we wrap this up. Drop HBR in the comments of this video, okay? And then we'll be able to link it up. Now, this is not an open-ended offer. What does this mean? We are already starting the countdown. So we've already started to say that is the countdown to freedom. So if you're going to join us, we have between now, in fact, the faster you join, we actually have only 5. We prefer to work with a small group because you can see the level. Now we have 3 days for enrollment: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Help you make sure that you also have the right mindset. You know, not coming, okay, days. We would definitely in that call make sure you are well aligned and that you're ready and able. If you have any peculiarities as to your own situation, maybe, oh, I work offshore, I work on men's call, and then we get you started, we onboard you. So that by Thursday, usually that's when our lessons drop every Thursday. You have immediately, you already have, and the moment you send and we onboard you, you give us all your start parameters. Because this new week is our week 1. The countdown has already started. The countdown starts this same week. 250,000 naira, one-time payment. Now, if in your own case, you say, oh, I'm unable to, is there any other Mr. For labs construct? Okay, yeah, HBR, if yours gap, fine. So if for any reason you feel like, oh, I want to do installmental payment, I want to time it with my maybe monthly pay or anything, that's also fine. It's usually 90,000 naira monthly. So you do that 3 installments. So you do 3 installments. Now, if you click also, yes, so yes, it's also slightly different. Definitely, if you do one time, is cheaper than, you save some bit of money than if you do monthly, but it's 100% okay. Okay, it's 100% okay. It's just easier for you in your pocket. It's 100% okay. It's definitely your choice. So if he would see the link immediately to click on it and send a direct message to my chat box, and then would just jump on your call immediately. This is exactly how this woman moved from, oh, I'm just doing a challenge, to, okay, 4 years later she's still saying thank you. Right, Mr. Engineer Madaki, fine, HBR, send a message immediately. Send us a message now. If you're stable on this point and you feel like, okay, don't worry, I can do it on mine, just tell. However, 2 speeds. The first speed is fastest. You are working with us, you are giving us your results, we're course correcting with you, we're meeting with you every week, we're supporting you every step of the way. The second speed would be, okay, just tell me specifics of what I'll be doing in these 12 weeks. I already have this 12-week PDF that you've given to me, and I will follow it as much as I can. I'm disciplined. I will do it. I will gambate. Gambate is Japanese for I will try my best. I will try my best. Now, that option is the do-it-yourself BP crushing program. So that is like a course where we try to condense everything. Okay, mind detours, you're going to do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Okay, body triggers, this is a triggers checklist you're going to follow. So in that one, you just take the course and then you implement on your own. Do you understand? You then implement on your own, but you still follow this tool because it's the same path. DIY does not mean that you will not follow the path. You will, but we cannot provide that level of support, having this review call and back. Do you? So these are the two speeds. Fastest speed would be we walk with you every step of the way. That is HBR. Second speed, second option, because not everybody is going to be able to invest at that point, and it's okay, but we still want to be able to, still give you something to work with. Oh, you didn't do anything for me. In that case, you can do the DIY. It's called the Do It Yourself BP Crushing Program. So we give you the course. It lasts for 3 days. You take the 3 lessons on mind liberation. The second day, you take the second lesson on body liberation. The third day, you take the lesson on freedom activation. And then you have to still follow the pathway for 12 weeks. Now, this one costs 35,000 naira. Take the course, you get access, you start implementing on your own. Okay. However, if you know that, oh, I want to tell you, I don't want to try to figure out anything. I just want to know that you are working with me every step of the way. Then that is HBR. Same part, same framework, 2 speeds. That's all. So this is the point of decision. So we've moved from clarity. We're no longer talking about clarity. We've moved to decision. Okay. Whichever one you choose, the link is in the bottom of this video. Click on it. We're also going to drop the links for the 2 pathways in the all access page in the WhatsApp group. Click on it and send a message. We would onboard you immediately. Is that okay? All right. So I hope that struck. And if you, Oscar and Engineer Madaki, fine, let's have a conversation and let's get you started on your freedom path. We're super excited to be able to work with you, to support you, and we're rooting for you that you'll be by grace of God within the next 3 months. All right. I hope that this has been helpful for you. Hopefully, we get to their growth and their successes and why theirs worked as well. All right. So I will talk to you sometime next time. Don't forget to let's take away as well. And if you have any questions, also let us know.